And then like we mentioned the schools. Now, is it normal to go more than once a day?
Yeah, it's normal. You know, like 6 times a day might be a lot, and so there would be another. The thing that you would worry about at that point is if you're absorbing any nutrients, or are you eliminating so quickly that your body is not able to absorb any of the nutrients from what we eat. But yeah, more than once a day. Many people regularly have 2 or 3 bottles in a day.
How many of us grew up believing that having a glass of orange juice every morning was the way to go? Okay. And then in the last several years, how many of us have found that to be not so good for us by experience? Okay.
I have a question in regards to when I'm shopping, but I've been trying to be more health conscious and reading the labels. What's the difference between organic foods and natural foods, and does that make a difference in our bodies and
So organic, and it's interesting because now, of course, there's things like natural, or there's a lot of catchwords, but organic should not be a catchword. In order for something to be labeled organic, it has to meet requirements, and that is that there are no pesticides or herbicides used. So if meat is organic, then it means that the feed that they got was not treated with pesticides or herbicides. For fruit or vegetables that we eat, it means it was not sprayed with those chemicals. It does make a difference because our health is greatly affected by the wide array of chemicals that we get into our system just by our daily living. So we're exposed to so many toxic things. And that's one of them that will cause a number of things to happen. And I believe that they can be endocrine disruptors at times too, meaning they will interfere with your endocrine system, and then that would be things that could interfere with things like blood sugar or temperature regulation, that kind of thing.
Because I noticed that we can have natural popcorn, so I just wanted to know, like,
yeah.
Is that just
right. So when you say the word natural, you have to kind of investigate what that means, because people just throw that on there. Now, that word doesn't, it's a marketing technique to use that word. So, but in my mind, what natural popcorn would mean would be like not microwave popcorn. You know, that has, I don't know what added into, but popcorn, like corn is corn. So I'm not, it's natural.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Get a prize, get a prize.
Can you speak into the mic, please, because we still are filming. Thank you. Don't break it.
My question is about the validity of sugar-free products. I'm a diabetic and I love cookies. And I've noticed that these cookies that are supposed to be sugar-free, but every time I eat them, my sugar goes up. What's up with that?
Yeah. For one thing, something could be quote-unquote sugar-free, meaning they didn't put sucrose in it, but highly refined carbohydrates are like putting sugar right into your blood system, your bloodstream anyway. So when that food gets broken down, it gets broken down into glucose, and if it's got a lot of refined carbohydrates, which something like a cookie is going to be pretty refined and have a lot of carbohydrates, it's going to cause a sugar reaction. What are some of the ingredients that they're using now? They're using sugar alcohol.
Sugar alcohol and sorbitol.
Sorbitol,
You gotta be careful when you're looking at sugar-free, even sugar-free gum, or sugar-free chocolate. People love to eat them, and we have baskets of them in our office. And notoriously, people will just grab handfuls of them. Sorbitol, mannitol are all things that make you go to the bathroom. They're laxatives. So if you ever notice you eat a lot of that sugar-free chocolate, and then all of a sudden you're getting bloated and you get that comes from all that other stuff. Yeah, so it doesn't actually say sugar on it, but you have to know the other word that, like sucrose and sorbitol. We actually in the hospital give sorbitol to make people go to the bathroom. Plain sorbitol is an ingredient to make people go to the bathroom.
But the information you get from eating that cookie and knowing that, even though it says sugar-free, that made my blood sugar low, that's great information. And so you kind of have to pay attention to how your body does with certain things. The less refined the food is, the less of effect it's going to have on your blood sugar. Overall, it's a general rule. So, you know, you'd probably be better off with a cookie that was not sugar-free, but that was made with less refined ingredients. So maybe it has some sugar, but it's got whole wheat flour, it's got coconut in it, it's got some nuts in it. That might raise your blood sugar less than a really refined sugar-free cookie.
So start baking.
Exactly, start baking.
Get a prize.
Thank you, James. T. Juanita Lee, you have a question for us?
I'd like to know about your potassium level. So I was always told your potassium is low, you get a big banana. But you're saying eat a little small.
So that's a whole different situation as far as you have low potassium levels and they're requiring you to replace. Sometimes people have low potassium levels because they're on a diuretic or water pill, which will make you urinate more, potassium follows that, and then your potassium is low, so you have to replace it. Dietary-wise, for people with diabetes, they have to be careful because the bananas are very sweet, and a serving size of a banana is a half of what you saw there. But in your case, if you needed to replace your potassium, still stick to a serving size, not go to the larger size because you want more potassium necessarily, because you actually are still eating 2 serving sizes of fruit there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can get it some other places.
If you're diabetic and you need to get your potassium levels up, there are other ways besides the banana to do it. So my favorite way is coconut water, which is not sweet and has like 660 milligrams of potassium, which is much more than you would get if your doctor actually prescribed a pill. Potassium tends to be a micronutrient that is easier to get large amounts in food rather than taking a pill.
Reverend J.
I was just wondering if you could speak a little bit about carb counting, because in the example with the cookie, if you looked at the total carbohydrate count, that would tell you or give you a better indication of whether or not that item is going to raise your blood sugar level. So I was wondering if maybe you could speak a little bit about the labels on the back and how you can use that to help you with regard to trying to regulate your diabetes.
So first I think I need to identify what is a carb. So carbs are fruits and vegetables and breads and rice and all those sort of things, not protein, so it's not meat. So if you eat chicken with a salad, you're getting a little bit of carbohydrates from the lettuce, but you're not getting any other carbohydrates unless you're putting some fruit. So when you're looking at the back of a label, and sometimes people really go right to and say, well, I want to see how much sugar's in it and how many calories. For people with diabetes, we're really focusing on the carbohydrate because it's going to take the total carbs. It's going to take in account all the other separate little things like maybe alcohols or sugar. It's going to be a total. So one piece of fruit is 1 serving, and that's 15 grams of carbs. And to quickly associate that to total calories, I like to say if you're having 18 servings of carbohydrates a day, that's approximately about 2,000 calories, anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 calories overall. If you're really worried about calories and not carbohydrates or vice versa, I kind of do that quick math, but you can actually literally count every single one. People with type 1 diabetes, that I talked earlier about, who really need insulin every single day. Every time they think about putting in their food in their mouth, they have to think about insulin. Where someone back there asked me, well, you have diabetes, do you take insulin? And I said, I choose to take insulin. And the reason why I choose to